They left me in a hospital bed, bleeding, broken, and completely alone. Not a single visit. Not a single call. Just silence, like I'd died and they'd already moved on. I was driving home after my shift at the diner when the truck ran a red light. Everything went black. When I opened my eyes, I couldn't feel my legs. The nurse told me I was lucky to be alive, but honestly, I didn't feel lucky at all. Especially when I found out my own family had already cleared out my apartment, sold my car, and told the doctors they couldn't afford to help. My sister Melissa posted a photo the next day from a beach in Florida with the caption, "Sometimes you gotta cut off toxic people, even if they're family." I was the toxic one? Me, the girl who helped pay her college tuition just months ago. I lay in that hospital bed, crying quietly at night, not because of the pain, but because I finally realized I was never their priority. I was their convenience. And now that I couldn't walk or earn, I was disposable. The physical therapy was brutal. Every session felt like fire crawling up my spine. But I pushed through. While everyone thought I'd spend the rest of my life in a wheelchair, I was secretly planning something else. Every moment they ignored me, every message they left on read, it fueled me, and then, something unexpected happened. The hospital's billing department called. They said someone had covered my entire medical bill, anonymously. I was confused. Until I traced the account. What I found made my stomach turn. My father had used my identity to take out a $100,000 insurance policy. He pocketed the money and told the rest of the family I was in rehab with no future. That's when I knew. This wasn't just abandonment. This was betrayal at the deepest level. I made a silent vow. If they wanted me out of their lives, fine. But when I came back, it would be on my terms. And they'd never see it coming. The day I left the hospital, no one was there. No balloons. No hugs. Just me, a backpack, and a body still learning how to walk again. I booked a one-way bus ticket out of state. I didn't tell anyone where I was going, because honestly, I didn't know them anything anymore. I moved to a small town in Arizona and found a room above a dusty repair shop. The owner, Mr. Jenkins, gave me a chance. "You help with the books, I'll cover your rent," he said. I agreed. What he didn't know was that I had a brain for numbers and a broken heart that needed work more than a paycheck. Within 3 months, I'd streamlined his inventory, fixed his accounting, and doubled his monthly profits. Jenkins was shocked. "You sure you weren't an accountant in your past life?" he joked. I just smiled. I wasn't just helping him, I was building something for me this time. At night, I studied. I watched online courses, read business books, and taught myself how to code. I slept 4 hours a night and worked the rest. My body still ached from the accident, but my mind was sharper than ever. Pain was no longer the enemy, it was the fuel point. One night, while balancing Jenkins' monthly profits, I noticed how many repair orders were being declined because customers couldn't afford upfront payments. That's when it hit me. What if I built a platform to help small shops offer microfinancing instantly, with no banks involved? I called it Quick Fix Pay. I built the prototype in 6 months, coded most of it myself, and used my small savings to hire a freelance developer overseas to finish it. I pitched it to 5 auto shops. 4 said no. 1 said yes. Within a month, that shop's revenue jumped 40%. Word spread like wildfire. In 1 year, Quick Fix Pay went from a side project to a booming fintech startup. I got my first investment check from a former Google exec, $250,000. Then another. Soon, I was on Zoom calls with venture capitalists from Silicon Valley, pretending I had a team of 10 when it was just me and a laptop in a dusty room above a repair shop. But here's the real twist. Out of nowhere, I got a message from Melissa, my sister. "Hey Vicky, it's been a while. Dad's turning 60. We're throwing a big surprise party. Would love for you to come. He's really missed you." Missed me? The same man who used my accident to cash in insurance money and never visited me once? The same family who blocked my number when I begged for help. My hands shook as I read her message. They had no idea who I had become. To them, I was still the girl who got hit by a truck and disappeared, but I wasn't her anymore. I was about to walk back into their lives and flip everything upside down. I showed up to the party in a sleek black dress and heels. Yes, heels. I'd trained my legs for 2 years to stand tall again, just for this moment. The party was held at a fancy country club, the kind of place my family once said was too classy for someone like me. Funny how they changed their standards. When someone else was paying as I walked through the front doors, heads turned. Some of them didn't recognize me at first. Others whispered like they'd seen a ghost. My brother Kyle nearly dropped his drink. Melissa's smile froze. But my father? He looked straight at me, eyes widening, jaw tightening like he'd seen Karma herself walk through the door. Victoria. He said. You actually came. I smiled politely. Would have been rude to ignore the invite. After all, family is family, right? Everyone went silent. You could hear forks clink against plates. The awkward tension was delicious. Melissa let out a fake laugh. We're just glad you're okay. 2 years, right? We thought you disappeared. Yeah, it's amazing what you can accomplish when no one's draining you emotionally or financially, I replied casually. They didn't like that. Good. Midway through dinner, my dad made a speech. He rambled about sacrifice, family, and resilience. We've had some tough years, he said dramatically, but family always finds its way back together. Especially now that we're planning our next investment, a family-run business we hope will change everything. That's when I stood up, clinking my glass. If you're talking about quick fix pay, I said, you should know that deal's off the table. Permanently. Gasps. Confused stares. My father's eyes narrowed. What are you talking about? I pulled out my phone and tapped the screen. A giant projector behind me lit up, the room logo dimmed, and my company's logo appeared, bold and shining. Quick Fix Pay, founder, Victoria Adams. My father turned pale. You built that? I own it, I said clearly. Every line of code. Every investor. Every dollar. And I know you tried to pitch it behind my back last week to a competitor in Chicago. They emailed me to verify the founder's identity. Melissa looked like she wanted to disappear into her wine glass. My voice got colder. You abandoned me when I needed you most. Used my accident to collect money. Laughed at my disability. And now you want a piece of what I built alone. My father tried to speak, but I wasn't done. I'm not here for you. I came for closure. For me. I wanted you to see what you threw away. I wanted you to know that the girl you all left behind came back stronger, richer, and more powerful than you ever imagined. Silence fell over the room. My uncle tried to clap awkwardly. I ignored him and walked out, leaving them stunned. But just as I reached the doors, Melissa chased me down. Vicky, wait. I didn't know about the insurance money, I swear, I was just following what Dad said. I looked her dead in the eyes. You posted beach selfies while I was learning to walk again. That tells me everything I need to know. I walked out. But what happened the next morning? That changed everything. The next morning, I woke up to chaos. My phone was flooded with calls, texts, and email notifications. At first, I thought maybe someone from the party had shared my speech online, but it was way bigger than that. Someone had leaked the entire story. An anonymous account had posted a detailed thread on X, including screenshots of my hospital bills, the insurance fraud my father committed under my name, and even the emails where he tried to secretly pitch Quick Fix Pay to a competitor as his daughter's abandoned project. The post ended with a mic drop line. She didn't just survive. She built an empire. And now, the ones who left her behind are begging for scraps. Within hours, it went viral. News blogs picked it up. Influencers reposted it. People were calling me a silent warrior, a self-made phoenix, a tech queen with receipts. Everyone wanted an interview, but the best part? The IRS, yeah. Faking a disability and using your daughter's accident for fraud? That leaves a trail. A criminal one. By noon, the FBI called me. My dad was under investigation for insurance fraud, identity theft, and tax evasion. By evening, his accounts were frozen. Melissa tried calling me 8 times that day. Left voicemails like, please, Vicky, you're tearing the family apart. Funny. No one worried about tearing the family apart when I was lying in a hospital bed with no visitors and no money. I didn't respond. I just went live on Instagram that night. No tears, no drama. I shared my story, thanked quiet supporters like Mr. Jenkins, and reminded everyone, you don't need noise to rise. Silence builds the loudest success. That livestream hit 3 million views in 24 hours. Investors doubled down on Quick Fix Pay. I was offered speaking gigs, TV interviews, even a book deal, but I turned most of it down. Why? Because I wasn't doing this for fame. I was doing it for the girl they left behind. The one they thought would stay broken forever, and now? I was whole again, not because of them, but in spite of them. My father? He's facing trial. Melissa? She went radio silent after her influencer deals dropped her. My family name? It's still theirs, but Victoria Adams, that name, mine, became a brand of resilience, power, and redemption. I didn't just get revenge. I reclaimed my story.